Om Namo Gurudev, Namo Gurudev, Namo Gurudeva. Om Namo Gurudev, Namo Gurudev, Namo Gurudeva. Om Namo Gurudev, Namo Gurudev, Namo Gurudeva. Inviting you, friends, to celebrate with me. This year, 2017, is 40 years of me teaching children yoga. So I started in 1977. And so on this video, you're going to get to see a little bit of those early years, which I think will be a lot of fun. I hope you'll think it's fun too. It was definitely fun to look through the old photos and create this video. So I just wanted to start out by saying a few words. Like from 1977 and for several decades after that, I lived in a yoga community. I was living in a spiritual yoga community. It was a little bit like living in a monastery. In the sense you were in physical, mental, and spiritual training. And this was part of my life, or it was my life for several decades. And part of the agreement was rising up long before the dawn and finishing up your meditation and yoga practice and spiritual practice just as dawn was rising. Eating a healthy vegetarian diet was part of it, and then aspiring to live in a wholesome, nonviolent way. So in the Kundalini community in which I lived, it was a balance. So we had this monk-like life, but at the same time we were householders. We had jobs, we had families, we went to the movies, we went shopping, we had friends over, we even rocked out at times. And so whether you were involved in serving the homeless community or having a talk with a friend or dancing to your favorite music, in the yoga ashram life, everything you did, said, and thought had integrity. Or if it didn't, then you were trained to use your meditative mind to discover how could it have been done differently? What could have I done differently? What was I thinking that brought this different reaction from within me? So then you'd learn to adjust yourself accordingly. So like mindfulness in the moment. So I mentioned that there are families in the ashram community, and that meant there were children. So at first, when I first moved in 1977, there was only one child. Her name's Akaljit. And you'll get to meet her here in this video. Then there were more as time went on. Even my husband and I, Kartar, and I foster raised two children, each for 3 years, different periods of time in our life as part of living in the ashram community. And so in those days, children were raised within an environment where, beside having their own daily practice and yoga and meditation, which was not as early as ours, but it was before they went to school each day. But beyond that, the living of life was considered yoga. And I want to give this to you as an idea, planting a seed with you. The living of life as yoga. Not just doing down dog, doing tree, here and there, doing yoga poses or having a practice just in the morning, but the actual living of life as yoga. So as a result, when I look through my stash of old photos, I didn't find almost any that looked like the yoga that we see today. And I thought about it. I thought, well, why don't I have any pictures of me teaching kids yoga in those early days of it? And I thought, well, why not? And I know why not. It's because there was a sacredness to it. We just were involved in it from the inside out. The children were, we were. It was a beautiful in the moment meditation. And to have someone come and take pictures changed the energy. So no one ever even thought of taking pictures of the children doing yoga. So this is something to contemplate, because we see a lot of it nowadays, you know. it's, in my opinion, this is a more natural way to live, to just have the experience. Don't try to hyper document everything that goes on in life, because what happens is you kind of take yourself out of the experience a lot when you're doing that. So I hope you enjoy this slideshow of my first children's yoga years. I know I had a lot of fun putting it together, and there's a special guest appearance toward the end of the clip. I think you'll love that. All right, so Satnam, thank you. Only matters what you do at each moment to be true. Only matters what you do at each moment to be true. To be true to what you know, your heart of hearts tells you so. To be true to what you know, your heart of hearts tells you so.
And I want to congratulate you on 40 years of teaching yoga to children. Such a gift you bring to the world, and sharing your incredible way of play as well as growth and inspiration for children throughout the world. I'm happy to say that yoga is still a very important part of my life, as it's woven its threads throughout every aspect, from the way I eat, the way I care for my family, the way I care for myself, the way I sleep, everything. And I'm also proud to say that I've been teaching yoga for over 16 years within my small mountain town community. But the most joyful thing for me is watching my child blossom at 6 years old and teach her yoga. And she's so spontaneous and playful in the way she engages with it. I think it just has become a part of her being as well. So many blessings, and thank you so much. And I don't want to forget to say that I was one of your very first students, because now I am 42 years old, and I believe you started teaching me at 2 years old. Many blessings and love to you and your family.